Okay guys, today I got a 2011 F150 Raptor, whatever, it's the same thing, and it has the fancy navigation system on it, automatic temp control, all these fancy options on here, and we just cannot get the blower motor to slow down or speed up. It's kind of stuck in one position. It's all the way down right now, you can see it up there, all the way up. And there's just no controlling it, and it's basically stuck on high. You go down here to the actual controls, nothing. And you may be experiencing this on yours sooner than later. 09 to, I would say, 14 F150 Raptors. It's all the same setup on there. And what happens is the blower motor speed controller is an actual solid state controller, which you think would be, better, more reliable. It's got big old heatsink fins on it. Let's see if I can grab it here for you real quick. It's got big old heatsink fins on it and everything else. And it's solid state, so it doesn't have the resistor card set up as some of the ones do, where they can corrode and get onto that board. Or like the old spring style resistors for resistor speed controls. So you would think it would be a lot more reliable, and they actually fail just about as often as the old style. And the way they fail, either they're off, they fail off completely, or they'll fail full blast, and you have no control over it, and sometimes it may come back. So those are the symptoms of what happens with this. So we're going to go through replacing on these, and luckily, unlike the Crown Vics, which has the same exact issue, where they get stuck on full blast, you have no control, the Crown Vics are in the engine compartment, they're a pain to get to. Now these ones are on the interior, under the glove box here, and we can get to it down there pretty easy with a 8mm socket on there, on a 1/4" wrench, or I use a little gear wrench, a little easier. So we're going to go through swapping that out today, and we're going to retest it at the end here and make sure everything's all fixed. I just wanted to go over this though, so that you get a better sense of what's causing all this, because there is so many control components and places to interface on here between the controls here, which they call the front control interface module, and then the actual, this one has navigation, so that one has control over it too, with the touch screen controls and all that stuff. So there's a lot of interfaces and ways to control it, and for things to go wrong. And these parts don't necessarily fail. I have the ability to go into the actual HVAC module here with the scan tool and try to control blower motor with it. And even me talking with the scan tool directly to the HVAC module down to that blower motor speed controller, that's a mouthful, it still cannot control it directly. So we know it's not a push button issue, we know it's not an interface issue. So I know a little bit more than the average person, because I have another way to try to control it. And we got 3 points of failure here, so where I cannot control it. So we're going to go ahead and change it out. I'm going to stop yakking, and I'm going to show you how easy it is, and we're going to retest it and go from there. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is make sure you have the key off and out of there, so it's not trying to energize it while we're not inside the blower box down there, because that's where it gets all of its cooling. We don't want to prematurely fail the new unit here. So make sure your key is off, and we can go down there and start working on it. Okay, so in the passenger side floor here, and the kick well here, the footwell area, it's right there. You can see it's nice and easy to get to. You just got to depress the tab on here, and we'll pull this connector off here and get it out of the way. Something like that. It's kind of convenient. And then all you got is 2 8mm bolts, one there and one there, and then it slides out first and then down for that big heat sink on there. And then you just plug your new one in after you screw it in. Get it in there. Make sure it goes in with a snap, and we can go try it. Okay, we got it in, we got our key on, our system's all powered back up. We can start testing it up and down, and make sure it works properly in all modes. I'll be quiet for a second here so you can listen to it. We're at the lowest setting right now, and you can see it visually right there. And that's all there really is to it. I know the repair itself is simple. It's 2 screws, but the actual diagnosis where you are trying to figure out why it's happening and which one of these control components is actually causing it, because there is so many interfaces before it actually gets down to the controller and then down to the actual blower motor. So I can tell you is that anytime I've had any kind of issues with the blower motor speed where you cannot control it and it's on an automatic temp control system like this, whether it be navigation or not, on many model lines actually, not just the F150s, this goes way back to the solid state systems of the Crown Vics and Grand Marquis. So if you have this kind of issue, without going through a whole bunch of testing, because it gets very confusing, and most of it's over like a CAN network, what you can do is go straight after that blower motor speed controller, because that'll be your fix for it. I would say 95% of the time, if not more.